Yaesu is better than this one. But this one does have very, very good transmission and reception audio equalization control. That's one of the things that sets the Kenwood apart. Now, just to give you context, I have a Apache Labs ANAN 7000 that has probably more features than anybody can imagine via the computer. But it's not for everyone, and it's a different operating style. The microphone now, I have a question for you. Which microphone are you going to use with the FTDX10? I have a Heil 781 that I use for that rig, the FTDX101. Although right now on this computer, I have the RE320, which is the one that I normally use with the Apache Labs radio. So which microphone are you going with? Over.
Well, the one I picked up this morning is the 781. It came recommended. You know, we're very, very fortunate that we have a amateur radio store in the metro area. It's about a 35-minute drive. So I went over there this morning and took the rig and did a testing with the 781 with the Heil Gold line and the Heil HM12 microphone. Put it on my radio with my headphones, and then went through the monitor and watched on the meters as well. And this one turned out to be the best, a full range. Again, you know, and you know this as well with the 101. Those parasitic EQs can be really temperamental, and it can take a little bit of adjustment. So we kind of did a cursory adjustment with it before we came out here today. We may have to do some more adjustments as well, but not too sure yet. But hey, listen, we did start a little early, so we're actually live now on YouTube. So Miguel, you'll get a chance to go back and listen to your playback, and you'll be able to kind of compare it yourself, Roger.
Well, very good, very good. Yeah, my 781 is a great microphone. I've gotten so many great reports, and you know, you hear that a lot. People says, "Oh, I get great reports out there," and it's all subjective to, you know, whatever the person that is giving the report has as a reference. Then there's other folks, especially folks with the ANAN radios. They get very, very into the technical aspects of looking at different you know, scopes and ways of analyzing wave patterns, and those folks get very, very detailed. I've learned a ton of them. I've learned a ton of things from them. Very highly passionate people, and that's my tinkering, you know, laboratory radio, the Apache Labs 7000. But I do enjoy operating regular knobs and switches, and the 101 MP has been serving that function for quite a few number of months, not a year yet. Being curious about the 890, and I don't know if I'm keeping them both, if I'm selling one or the other. But right now I'm just learning. It's a very, very refined. I will put it like that. It has lots and lots of different options that you can use, like a lot of attention to detail. It's not as newer as the Yaesu radio, and on the paper is not as good as of a receiver, but so far so good. So thanks for putting me on the air there on YouTube. I guess a lot of folks are doing that now, and I'll send it back to you for your next transmission. This is Kilo Charlie 1 Lima Kilo Oscar Miguel in Hollis, New Hampshire. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, Miguel, fine business. No, it's really nice. You know, to me, it's really the difference between having a single receiver or having dual receivers. And my previous radio was a Yaesu 590, or excuse me, 950, and it had two receivers, and I never used it. So to me, it wasn't a big deal. I didn't want to crowd up the shack with a bunch of other big equipment and so forth. These are relatively low-profile radios, and so we decided to do the 7300 first, and then we were able to do this one as well. And there is a difference in receive, no doubt about it. We did look at the 7610, came real close to pulling the trigger on that, and the 101 as well. It's pretty bad when you have all of them sitting in front of you, and it's like eeny, meeny, miny, mo kind of thing. But I think, you know, this was number 3 on Sherwood's list on receive, so I'm pretty excited about that. There's always going to be something a little bit different than the other ones. I certainly understand that, but I have no reservations, and so far I do like the combination of the microphone with the radio there, Roger.
I hear what you're saying. It's as far as the other receiver, you're correct. I mean, it's a convenience, but not a necessity. And, I tell you, one of the things that I have been enjoying on the 101, which I think you have it on the 10, it's the ergonomics of how, when you have a weak signal, which we have had plenty of over the past few days with the bands the way they have been, the way that you use your hand on the controls to quickly adjust the contour, the width, and the shift, that I've been using that feature quite a bit. And it's amazing because you just fiddle with that until it sounds right, until you can pick it out. It's not like you have a set formula. You just have to play with it, and then you can actually extract that signal out. So I like that. That's one of the pluses on the Yaesu radio, which I think you have as well on the 10.
Yeah, you're correct as well. Man, you just came over to a solid 20 over. So I would have to say your hex beam is working really well. Never fails. Hex to hex always has a much better signal. You're right about the two receivers, the convenience. I mean, I guess if you're doing split ops or what have you, it would be okay. I'm not that kind of a guy, so it was not really that important to me. The only thing I see between this and the 73, a little bit better on receive and has an external monitor output. If the 7300 have the external output monitor, I mean, that to me would be 100% home run. It doesn't. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't come out that way, but for now it's not. It's a little easier to set up audio-wise, that's for sure. But that's really the only thing I think is lacking. You get some stations nearby, and it just can't cover it. And with the notch in the contour with this, and even the DNR, I mean, it really knocks it down. So I've been really pleased with that. I like the size of the screen, of course, which is nice. We were able to get a video capture cable today, so we're actually taking the screen of the radio and putting it on the live stream. So that's a nice little feature we've got going on now. K0RWB, Randy, Kansas City. Go back to you.
Okay, very good, very good. Yeah, well, I think there's other stations calling. I'm not sure if we're doubling on the frequency with other folks, but so I'll just keep it short and say thank you for taking my call. I enjoy the QSO. I'll put you on the log this time to make sure I have you, because I didn't do it the last time. My bad. And I wish you a great weekend. And each day is a gift. And enjoy it. KC1LKO. Sir, I want to be clear with you after your final with K0RWB. Go ahead.
Yeah, perfect, Miguel. Now, the pleasure is all mine. I'm glad we get a chance to talk. And, go to YouTube later if you want and listen to the playback. I'm showing about 5 minutes into right now, 8 minutes and 20 seconds. That should give you a pretty good idea. And listen to it. And if you would, real quick, give me an audio report on this as well. I'll see if I've got to do something with it, if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to get your feedback, what you thought on the audio, if it's something we need to adjust.
Well, I didn't. Audio report on how you are sounding to me. It sounds perfect.
Okay, well, I like to sound perfect. That's pretty nice testimonial. Okay, Miguel. Hey, sounds great. Hey, Joe, the rest of your Friday. Hey, come back again. Like I said, we're trying to do this daily, about 2 o'clock Central Time. We had a little snafus earlier in the week, but we're trying to make up for it now. Usually not too much on the weekends. It could be hit and miss, but usually during the week, we try to get out here for a couple hours. And you guys on the East Coast always have great signals. And like I said, you've been 20 over the entire time. 7-3s, and we'll look forward to working. And again, take care, my friends. Kilowatt Charlie 1, Lima Kilowatt Oscar, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy, Kansas City. We'll be clear, my friend. 7-3s.
Kilo Charlie.
All right, 73. See you. Bye-bye.
Kilo Charlie 4 again?
4. Yeah, it's call is Kilo Charlie 4, Victor. Victor Oscar. My name is Bob. I'm in Orlando, Florida. I'm just going to give a quick shout out to Miguel. Hey, Miguel, hope you're doing well. And Randy, back to you. K0RWB. Boy, I got tongue-tied from KC4VO.
Yeah, fine business. I just kind of give me a chance to turn the beam down your direction. The band isn't in the greatest shape, so every little bit will help today. Fine business, Bob. Glad you stopped in. They said, yeah, the name here is Randy. We're about 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri, to come out and play radio this afternoon, and we're doing a live stream on YouTube as well, and it's kind of why Miguel and I kind of talk a little bit more. You get a chance to listen to the playback on the audio. Apparently he's got to flip a coin on a couple of radios, which one to sell or which one to keep. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes, but anyway, we're just trying to get things together. We got a little bit of a new equipment this morning, trying to get it on the air, and so far everything's working quite well. We've got you pulled up here on QRZ, and what a wonderful setup you've got in your shack. I'm starting to feel jealous here. Go ahead.
Well, that's very kind. Thank you very much. Yeah, I got too much stuff too. And today I'm on the Apache Labs Anon 7000 DLE, and running 1.5 kilowatts. I'm using the Expert 2KFA, and the antenna here, Randy, is a 5/8 wave vertical. It's about 42 feet tall, ground mounted with 80 radials, very, very long radials for 20 meters. So that's the working conditions here. Your signal report here is 5 and 9 on my main receiving antenna, but very strangely, and this rarely happens, on my 1 meter mag loop antennas that I use on the second receiver for diversity reception, you're actually 5/9 plus 10. So that almost never happens, but sometimes it does. Over.
Well, that's great, Bob. I don't know whether to say thank you or say maybe I need to fix something. It's good to know. Well, I appreciate that. Fine business on the working conditions. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm scrolling through your page. You didn't put that together in about 5 minutes, and I can tell. Yeah, it's one of the nicest pages I've ever seen. Congratulations. It really is quite impressive. And you know that mag loop it kind of intrigues me. I'd be curious what's your take on it on the next go-round, but very low profile, very very easy. It looks for portable ops, which could be fun as well. Like you said, the working condition here is the FTDX10, and we have the PR781, which got that this morning. A little amplifier is an ACOM 1000. We're just about 800 on peaks there. Go ahead.
Roger, Randy. Well, it sounds very good. The new microphone sounds great. No recommendations for anything to adjust. It's nicely balanced, and it does sound quite good. And regarding the mag loop, the mag loop is a receive only mag loop. You can get them for transmit, but I only use it for receive. I use it on the second receiver for diversity reception, which is how I use my second receiver on my radios. It can be very interesting, especially during situations where there's a lot of QSB, because the mag loop and the vertical antenna don't fade at the same time. So typically they're inverse. So when one fades, the other tends to come up. And I got it more than anything else. I got it because I had some noise coming from a particular direction, and mag loops are very, very good at knowing out noise if you know where it's coming from. If it's band noise, it doesn't do anything. But if you got a noise coming from a particular direction, perhaps power line, perhaps perhaps a neighbor who maybe has an old style plasma TV, you can put that mag loop broadside to the noise, and the noise will largely go away. And that's originally why I did it. Not great for Skywave. You can turn it all you want. It's not directional in that sense for Skywave, but for noise sources that are local, it works absolutely great. And as an adjunct, as a second antenna for diversity reception, it's fabulous as well. So I'm real happy. I've had it for a number of years now, and and today is, like I say, a little unusual. It's only a 1 meter loop, and it is odd. I guess I should check out my my main antenna, because the mag loop certainly shouldn't be receiving more strongly than the main antenna. It does happen occasionally, because mag loops are sensitive to a different portion of the transmitted waveform. So depending on what's happening in the atmosphere, that can happen. It's just a little unusual. But you are sounding good and nice and strong, and a pleasure to make your acquaintance. K0RWB from Kilo Charlie for Victor Oscar.
Yeah, okay, Bob, fine business. Well, I think the mag loop, since it's probably a little bit lower to the ground, I've directed my signal a little lower to the ground today, so that's probably why I'm coming up better there. I don't know, I had to say something. It doesn't make any sense, but no, I totally get it. Yeah, you've got a setup there, no doubt, and like I said, you didn't put that together overnight either. So it's like most of the stuff. It's really kind of an ongoing process. We knew at some point we were going to have to look at maybe upgrading the radio, just because they've made lots of improvements over the years on receive technology, and we finally did that last month, and don't have a problem with it. And then we noticed a few other things that were coming available, and we when we started doing this live stream, some other radios are a little bit more conducive to doing that, a little less headache getting set up, and kind of went that direction as well. And of course, with the new setup, sometimes old microphones don't like new stuff, and vice versa. So we had to make that switch as well. So we have been very familiar with them, with the microphones on the receive end, never transmits end. It is certainly robust. It's not made out of plastic, that's for sure. So I'm hoping it'll have a long life as well. But no, I do appreciate checking in. I don't see a contact in my log, so thank you so much for that. And I'm glad to see the band is working. We just went from New Hampshire down to Florida, so maybe we'll get something between. The Eastern Seaboard seems to be working. Yesterday it was all West Coast. I called the East Side, and now they got on the West Side. So, but we're going to see. We'll see what else is out there right now. But I wanted to say thank you for giving the call, and hopefully I'll have a chance to work again. And as well, if you're kind of curious on the audio as well, you can go to YouTube, put in my call, and listen to the playback. And if you so choose, like I said, we try to do this on a continual basis during the week, about 2 o'clock Central Time. But you can always like and subscribe, and it would let you know on the notifications when we're up and down again, and we'd be happy to kind of pick it up where we left off. I'll say 7 threes for now, Bob. Thank you again so much. Do appreciate it. And we'll catch you down along for sure. Kilo Charlie 4, Victor Oscar, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Let you finish it.
Okay, K0RWB, KC4VO. Well, pleasure to work you, Randy. Looks like for the first time. And going back about a year ago, we used to live stream too, using a network that allowed us real-time streaming, no latency. Latency was sub 1 second, but unfortunately that network closed down, and we haven't done it. We haven't done it since that time. We used to use it so people could actually listen in real time, as opposed to the recorded after the fact. And so it was a great service. But everybody appreciated having sub 1 second latency, so they could do that, and actually see the signal too, because on the Apache Labs, of course, the waterfall and the band scope were of interest to people, so they could see their band pass and whether anything that they didn't like in terms of spectral regrowth outside of the band pass. So yep, very, very good. Pleasure to meet you. By the way, I'm on a Shure SM7B today. That's my mic. So take care and enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll certainly let you move on and make a bunch more contacts. A nice signal down here into Florida. K0RWB, KC4VO 73.
73, Bob, thanks again, and thanks for the kind words, and look forward to working you again. K0RWB, Rainy, Kansas City, Willow Clear, and QRZ.
Kilowatt Foxtrot 2, Mike Yankee.
Foxtrot, India.
Kilowatt Foxtrot 2, Mike Yankee. John, good afternoon. How are you?
Very good, thank you. First time working you. You have a nice signal here in Long Island. You're about S9 plus 10. I'm located about 50 miles east of New York City. I didn't get all the information. I just heard part of your conversation. Did I hear you were using a mag loop antenna? Go.
Negative. The station down in Florida has one for receive only. That's Bob, and it is something of interest. I didn't know there was a receive and a receive transmit version, but no, we're running a hex beam 45 feet from the base plate. We kind of came up your direction now. We were pointed to Florida, so thanks for the 5.9 plus pointed to Florida versus New York, and the rig's a FTDX10. The amplifier's an ACOM 1000, about 800 on peaks. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. Well, you're 5.9 plus 10, no, either direction. Whether you were pointed to Florida or New York, same signal report. But that probably has more to do with band conditions than anything else. I'm using the Yaesu FT991 Alpha, barefoot into a 50-foot end-fed wire. Feed point's about 7 feet, and the apex of the antenna is at 25 feet. So it's a minimal antenna setup. I just got back into ham radio after being off the air for 20 years, and I had gotten rid of all my antennas, so I needed to get something to get me back on the air real quick, and this is what I came up with before winter set in. So hopefully in the spring we'll come up with something else. But for now, that's what I got. Anyway, you have a beautiful signal coming in, and just wanted to make a contact and say hi. Roger?
Yeah, no problem at all. No, I appreciate that. The 991 Alpha is a terrific radio. It replaced my old rig, which was the FT950. Very low, compact, slimline, easy in the shack, easy portable. So congrats on that. Be curious if you're running the stock mic as well on the next go round. And I've got your page pulled up. And I can't tell from the main picture per se. I don't know if it's a 103 or not, and I can't tell if it's a tandem. So give me the mic and tell me a little bit about the aviation there. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. The picture is of when I was in Hawaii on vacation a couple of years back. I'm a surfer, so I tend to fly in different areas where there's surf. And I was on the North Shore of Oahu, and that day the surf wasn't good, so I went down to Hickam Field on the North Shore, and they have hang gliding, and they have the motorized gliders and all kinds of different things. And basically I paid for a lesson, and I went up for a lesson in the hang glider. We went to 5,000 feet. We flew across the whole North Shore and back. And that was after the ride was over there. I took a picture in my suit. So that's not my plane. That was the plane that I rented. And then the other pictures of my backyard and my tiki bars where I set up my radio during the summer, and then I bring it inside for the winter. So that's basically the setup. Roger?
Yeah, 5 minutes. Are you using the stock mic as well?
Yeah, I forgot. No, I switched to stock mic because I got complaints of having bad audio at times. And I went out and bought the Heil HM10XD, which I guess is their new mic. And it seems like it works a lot better for this radio. And I seem to get a good audio reports. Roger?
Yeah, it's a good combination. Sounds wonderful. It's what I call a full sound, lows, the mids, and the highs. So yeah, quite nice actually. That's why I was just curious. It has a little extra punch that you usually don't have on a stock microphone. Well, we've got a PR781 here that we're running, and we're still doing some adjustments in the EQs and the rig as well. They just met each other today, so we're trying to get them acquainted. But so far, so good, John. Well, I don't know if you heard or not, but we're actually doing a live stream here on YouTube. If you wanted to listen to our QSO on playback, you certainly could. You get an idea what your quality's like. You've been 5.9 and 5.9 plus 5 here most of the time. So, the rig and the wire is doing a terrific job for you, especially barefoot. Makes me wonder why I'm running 800 watts and I'm not doing much better than you on 100. So I may have to look at that, maybe change my electric bill. But anyhow, but yeah, if you're so inclined to do so, just go to YouTube, put in my call, K0RWB, and look for today's link. And we're sitting at about, we came on at about 21 minutes in, roughly. And that would kind of give you an idea there, Roger.
Yeah, okay, very good. I actually pulled up YouTube. I didn't put your live stream on yet because I was afraid it might be some feedback problems. But, yeah, this microphone's very good. This radio is very good. I have FT101ZD that I've had since I bought it new back in the 80s. I like this radio better. It actually is a better radio as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, this mic has two different settings. This is the full audio setting I have it on, and I switched it now, and this is supposed to cut off some of the highs and lows and give you a little bit more punch if you need to in a pileup. I don't know if you could tell the difference when I flip the switch, but I'm going to flip it back again to the original position. Anyway, I don't want to hold you too long, especially if you're live streaming. And we'll turn back to you for a final, and we'll say 73s on your final. K0RWB, KF2MY.
Yeah, fine business, John. Yeah, you could definitely tell the difference between the two. Going back to the original setting is really a really pleasant audio. The second setting has a little bit more of a punch to it, of course, and that's what it's designed for. But no, it's the first setting is very nice and pleasant, full flavored, as I like to say. So you've got it dialed in. It's a terrific setup. I mean, you really can't get more minimal than what you're doing. So I have to applaud you for that. Again, I'm kind of wondering what am I doing here, but anyway, hey, listen, join the rest of the afternoon. So you get a chance there. Yeah, there's usually about a 20 to 30 second lag between the live stream when it comes across, but again, you can just kind of back it up and play it. So be curious to see what you think of how it sounds. Like I said, we've got the live chat going as well. We certainly encourage comments. No profanity, of course, which we haven't had so far. But anyway, it is what it is. So, John, thanks again. Enjoy your Friday. What's left of it. Have a great weekend coming up. We're out here generally 2 o'clock Central Time during the week. Look for us again, and we'll just kind of pick it up where we left off. And we hope you and family are doing well and continue to do so. I'll say 7-3s. Kilowatt Fox 2, Mike Yankee. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. We'll be clear, my friend, 7-3s.
Okay, Randy, very good. I'm looking at you on the screen now. I'm waving to you. You can't see me, but you can wave back. And we'll say 73s on you, and we'll cut you down the log. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Kilowatt Foxtrot 2, Mike Yankees, clear. Bye-bye.
Roger, 7-3s, Don. We'll go ahead and clear. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, K0RZ.
Whiskey Bravo 8, November Echo Romeo. K1NZU.
Whiskey Bravo 8, November Echo Romeo. Tom, how are you doing this afternoon?
Doing real good. And nice to meet you there, Randy. You've been reading the mail here for a little while. And you're just the exact person I need to find. I'm checking out a rig here for somebody. I got a very bad audio report from another microphone. So I got my microphone out here now and put it on, and I just really like to have a report, see if it's a mic problem or if it's something in the radio. The radio is a Kenwood TS440S. TS440S. Back to you, Randy.
Yeah, okay, Tom. Every once in a while, it sounds a little garbled. Maybe the contactor on the mic is dirty or need to have a little contact cleaner. The audio is clear. It's not really loud, but it is clear, if that helps at all.
Oh, yeah, it sure does help. Yeah, well, of course I could turn the audio up some, but it really looks like I'm putting out plenty of audio. Great. That's good to know. So all right, well, it could be contacts on this mic. I've never had a problem with this mic before on my rig, which is also a Kenwood, but geez, I'm really glad to hear that. So there's hope for the radio. I was a little afraid that it was going to be a big problem here. Okay, I've got relatives, my daughter and her husband over in Knobnosser, Missouri. You probably know where that is, by Whiteman Air Force Base. And so we've probably gone pretty close to your place at one time or another. And I guess you've got my QTH there, Brooksville, Florida. So back to you, Randy.
Yeah, okay, Tom. Knobnosser is about 35 miles kind of southeast of me. I wasn't born there, my brother was, so yeah, we know the area quite well. If you could, it was starting to get a little bit garbled. Let's try to back the mic gain down a little bit, and let's see what happened, if you don't mind.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that, absolutely. Let's see, hello, okay, that took it down quite a bit, I think. Back to you.
Yeah, it seemed to clean it up a little bit more. Again, you're not extremely loud. Your signal has been 5 and 7 and 5 and 9. The band today is not very good shape, so we kind of have to work through it. But that did seem to help it a little bit there, Roger.
Oh, okay, Roger. Yeah, very good. I'm sure glad to hear that. Well, we'll get some cleaner out here and maybe check out the rig here and see what we come up with. But I'm glad to know that it's not a piece of junk, as we might say. Okay, you're running about the same signal here. There were times, though, earlier when you were clear up to like 10 over. I'm running 100 watts to a dipole out here in the backyard. We're actually out in the woods, in the trees. We live in a HOA community and we can't have antennas, so I'm lucky enough to live back up against the woods. Okay, I'm not really familiar with the YouTube thing, but I guess if I go to your QRZ, can I pick up enough information there to go find you on YouTube? Go ahead.
Yeah, you sure can, Tom. We do have a link to the channel. And you can do that, or again, you could just go ahead and Google YouTube, and at the top of the page there's a search bar, and you could just type in my call sign K0RWB, and you could look for the most current one, which will have today's date listed on it. It actually scrolls, and you could look at that. And we are currently about 30 minutes into the live stream, so you could fast forward to about 30 minutes in. And at least you'll have a chance to listen on playback on the audio on our QSO there, Roger.
Oh yeah, Roger. Boy, that's great. That's great. Yeah, that'll help me a little bit here too. Okay, well I won't hold you, Randy. It's great to meet you, and I knew you were just the right person to catch. Your audio is excellent, and as the fellow you talked to earlier, EC1, I believe it was. His audio and your audio were really, really comparable. Very, very good. So I'll just say 73. Thanks for the report, and let you get on and work some other stations. So R0RWB, WB8NER.
Okay, Tom. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'm glad you could help for what it's worth. I'm certainly no expert, but I think what the little adjustments you did there did help clean it up a little bit. But again, if you get a chance and you want to listen to the playback, go ahead and do so. We are good in QRZ. If you need to send us an email or something, you can do that as well, and we'll try to help you on that side as well. We are out here daily during the week, and most times we try to start about 2 o'clock Central and then go for a few hours until the band is dead. So if you hear us come on back, we'll just pick it up where we left off, and we'll find something else to talk about. Tom, enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you again for the contact out of Florida. And we look forward to working you again. Whiskey Bravo 8, November Echo Romeo, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy, Kansas City. We'll be clear, 73s.
Okay, 73, and we certainly will look for you again.
Kilo Sierra 4 Sierra X-ray.
NER will be clear.
Okay, Tom, thanks again. Did I copy Kilo Sierra 4 Sierra X-ray?
Yeah, Randy, that's exactly right. The name here is Nate, N-A-T-E. I'm in Orlando, Florida. Running barefoot, 200 watts. How copy, over?
Well, that's cheating if it's barefoot. I thought barefoot was 100 watts there, Nate.
Well, this is a new rig. I just got it in last June, and it runs 200 watts barefoot, over.
I'd be afraid to ask. Maybe a 990?
Exactly right again. Man, you're lucky today. You should grab some lotto tickets somewhere.
Oh, I already did it. I already got it. And before I got home, I was already a loser.
That's the way it usually works with those tickets. I know the feeling. Yeah, I thought I'd make a quick contact with you. You're sounding good down here. I noticed the last station was in Florida, too, but I'm in Orlando, Florida, and I was just listening to your transmissions there, and the audio is really good, over.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't really know, per se. Of course, I think I don't like to hear my voice anyway, per se, but It's a lot different in headphones than it is on playback. And that's another reason for getting the stream today, so I can listen to it later. You try to adjust them the best you can. Some radios are easier to adjust than others. These three parasitic EQs can be really touchy, and the microphones as well. And the mic is new, so the radio and the microphone are just getting to know each other here currently. So they probably have a few issues to work through. But I have to say, I'm looking at your K0RWB page. I'm looking at a picture of the shack, and I see more radios than anything else. Apparently, you're working on different bands multiple times there, Roger.
Yeah, actually, I use one at a time, but I switch around. You got the 990, the 950 SDX, and the TS2000. I use the 2000 mostly for VHF, UHF locally, but the 950 and 990 I use to operate HF, and I bounce around. I work all the bands, and my favorites are 17 and 40. Just happened to be on 20 today and heard you out here, over.
Yeah, I appreciate that. 17 is probably my favorite band, and it seemed to be kind of quiet when I started there earlier. And the thing is, if you're doing a live stream, you'd hate to do that and call CQ for a half an hour, nobody answers. So you kind of go, well, there's a little bit of traffic, and 20 meters has been pretty good shape here lately. I did have to make a comment. I love that Alpha as well. A little bit jealous. We had to kind of take a step down or a step up. We went from a Ten-Tech Hercules 2 solid state, 20 some plus years, obsolete after 2 years, works just fine, and still today. And in December we picked on the ACOM 1000. So I guess it was a step up, step down to a step up, so to speak. It's been serving us well so far. Again, the rigs, the FTDX10 and the PR781 microphone, and that's about the end of it here. Of course, we did have the hex beam about 45 feet from the base plate, kind of pointed your direction, Roger.
Yeah, roger that. Well, it's all working great for you. The Alpha I like. I've had it about 20 years, the 87A, and it still works great. I don't use it all the time. You don't see it in the picture there, but in the last couple of weeks I just added the PALSTAR LA1K solid state amp and the HF Auto tuner. I had the AT Auto, and it works fine. It's about 15 years old, but I decided to try the HF Auto, and I find it to be faster and more stable on 160. It works really good. But yeah, I use the Heil Pro 7 headset right now. I bought that after I got the 990, and it seems to work pretty good. The antenna is an 80-meter loop that we just finished 2 weeks ago. 287 feet of wire, and it's strung through a forest behind my property here. That was a real challenge, trying to go over this limb, under that limb, and weave it through the woods and come back to home plate and solder it all together. But it seems to be working pretty good on all of the bands. I really like it. It's probably going to be my favorite antenna, over.
Oh, man, I tell you, that's impressive. Yeah, well, you're a solid 10 over, and it's not wavering whatsoever. And the audio, when you key, the audio is just you, and there's nothing else around. It's just you. It's almost sitting here. That's the kind of stuff I strive to get to, and hopefully one day that'll happen. But yeah, fine business. No, terrific setup. It's just mind-boggling. I've seen lots of pages, but yeah, you didn't do yours in 5 minutes. Putting that all together, terrific write-up. It is really nice, and the layout is wonderful as well. We thought we were going to be a little bit better situation than we were. We moved from one location to a new location, and we decided to ditch the 22-inch monitors, and we have three 32-inch the televisions basically, but they're monitors now as well. And they thought, oh, that sounds really good. But you had to put three of them together on a table, and you can run out of space in a hurry. So that, if your eyes go bad, I guess it helps there as well. But that's kind of what the setup is. But yeah, it's definitely working well, and nice to see that we're getting some signals down to Orlando. I have a feeling you probably got a little bit better weather than we do. We have this balmy 43 degrees today, and I'm sure you're probably close to that as well there, Roger.
Yeah, we got blue skies and sunshine today. It's 83 right now. Last couple of days have been really nice, and I think tomorrow's set up to be the same. So really good weather, good time to get outside and get some bike riding in. We have a 40-mile trail here. It's called the West Orange Trail. It's paved, and I like to get out there and get in a few miles for some cardio and enjoy the weather and do some sightseeing. Over.
Yeah, that would be really nice. We do quite a bit of biking throughout the year. Just kind of got the wife involved in it as well, so we've got her an e-bike. So if she wants to stop pedaling, she can continue rolling down the road. Problem is, the thing will run 30 miles an hour, and I could do that for short sprints, but I don't know if I could keep up with her in the long term. So we're going to have to see how that works out. But we do have several trail systems around here. We primarily run gravel bike now. We don't get on the road much anymore because traffic doesn't really pay attention to us road cyclists. So we kind of stay on the trails, stay off the blacktop per se, and there's less things to worry about. But yeah, we know exactly what you mean. You got a great weather for it. I wish we had that here. I think we're going to probably hit about 60 tomorrow. Problem is we had all this ice and snow the last 10 days, so the trails are still soggy. So they would need a good 10 days to 2 weeks to dry out for you can really get on there without causing any damage, any deep ruts and so forth you don't want to do. So we'll give it some time, and hopefully the weather will be conducive for us. But no, fine business. Thank you for stopping in. I don't see a contact in my log, so I appreciate you coming back with the call and get a chance to work. And hopefully we'll have a few more stations around as well down in your area, because doing quite well. Yesterday I couldn't get the East Coast for nothing, and today we're from New York all the way down to southern Florida. So Kilo Sierra 4 Sierra X-Ray K0RWB, back to you.
Okay, Randy, good deal. Yeah, you were peaking 20 over that time. Real good copy down this way. Okay, nice to meet you here, too, and hopefully I'll catch up with you again one day, either on 17 or 20 or even 40. We'll put you in the logbook here, and we'll keep an eye out for you. Have a good one up there, and I like cool temperatures. I just don't like the ice. But cool temperatures I like. I enjoy. Just throw on the sweatshirt and keep going. All righty, Randy. 7-3 for now. K0RWB from KS4SX.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, we're kind of the same way. We like the cool temperatures, but no ice. I think we're done. At least I like to think so. 7-3s, have a great Friday and a wonderful weekend. Feel free to stop back anytime. We'll pick up where we left off. KS4SX, K0RWB, Randy, Kansas City. We'll clear. 7-3s.
Roger. 7-3. KS4SX is clear.
K0RWB, QRZ.
Echo Sierra.
Echo Sierra. Give me your call again.
4 Hotel Sierra Whiskey.
November Zulu 2 Sierra.
Was it November 2 Zulu Sierra?
Almost. It's Norway Zanzibar number 2 Sugar. How's that?
Oh, I got fat fingers today. Sorry about that, Jeff. November Zulu 2 Sierra. Good afternoon. Again, the name is Randy, 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Go ahead.
Yeah, Randy, I'm up here north of Spokane, about 30 minutes north of downtown Spokane. And we've got a beautiful sunshiny day.
Well, I got you about 5 and 7, so we're going to bring it around here real quick and see if we can get you to come up a little bit more in my receive, and hopefully I'll do that for you as well there. So we should be getting closer. K0RWB, back to you.
Yep, roger that, Randy. You started about 5-7, and now you're over the 9 in the red zone.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to see I'm paying for that hex beam. I'm glad to see it has some directivity. We've had ours since 2012, and boy, I wouldn't trade it for the world there. Well, nice to see the West Coast is in. That's the nice thing I do like about the hex. It doesn't have a really steep front to back. You're 180 off, and I could hear you pretty well, so able to bring it around. So that's a nice feature, Roger.
Yeah, it does seem to work that way. The nulls seem to be deeper off of the sides at 90 degrees rather than the 180.
Yeah, and I'm totally fine with that. We have an alternate location that we can run, except for we don't have controls for the rotor. So generally this time of day we are really strong on the East Coast, and we'll point the hex at 90 degrees and let it set and then run to the altered location. And that's the only thing we couldn't control. We haven't had much of an issue because you can kind of still hear it. I think it's got pretty good side rejection, but front to back not so much, but to me it's a plus. Roger.
Yeah, roger that. That's what I found with mine as well. It's, much better off at 90 degrees than it is in terms of the rejection. And since I've got mine pointed east-ish most of the time, I actually can hear the Japanese off the back end of mine. So I find that's a plus as well.
Yeah, that's one area that I struggle to get into. I don't know if it's my location or central U.S. or just what, but every once in a great while there's some JAs that come in, and I've been able to work a couple of them. But it's one area that's really a struggle to get into. But this location we do pretty good in the Caribbean and in South America. That does help a little bit, but it's everything does come full circle. So we do Australia quite well, believe it or not, and it's all long path. It's usually, for me, it's about 274 degrees, and if we hear them okay, then we turn around to about 90, and they're certainly over S9. So so go figure. But I guess the conditions are as they are there. Roger.
Yeah, roger that. K0RWB and Z2S returning, and that's I find Japan, Australia. I can get into Central South America. My biggest problem area is Europe, because just directly northeast of me is Mount Spokane. It's only a couple miles away, so it's right in the path. So I have to go around it or over the pole or to get into Europe. So that's tough. And of course, Africa is a little bit tough as well, given where we are. Long path is a very long path, like 10,000 miles. Over.
Yeah, that would make it a little tough, no doubt. I guess it's different locations. I guess it's like buying a house. There's location, and so forth. But I'm not. I try to work with the people I can hear. In most cases, we can. And if I don't hear them, I haven't lost anything. So I guess it's okay. I'm really hoping that Sun Cycle 25 is going to be what everybody is anticipating, and we'll get things a little bit better. It seems to be, since November, the bands have been in fairly good shape. I think 20 has kind of been off a little bit this week. Hasn't been the best as it has been in weeks past, but it's certainly good enough to make a few contacts, and the signals are what they are, but we can always hope for the best. Really can't change the conditions. We'll just work through it, but I think a lot of times if it comes too easy, it makes you a lazy operator, so you have to work a little harder. You tend to be a little bit better operator there. NZ2S, K0RWB, back to you.
Yeah, Randy, what are you running there? I'm running a IC 7300 at I think it's 95 watts or something, maybe 100 into the hex beam. Over.
Yeah, we've got that as a backup rig. This one is the FTDX10. Of course, the same hex beam, running an ACOM 1000. That's about 750 to 800 on peaks. And the mic is a PR 781. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just had a quick look, and I'm running at 98%, so 98 watts into the hex beam. Microphone-wise, I've got a condenser mic on a boom with a foot pedal, and the mic goes into a small audio board. That just lets me play around with the tone a lot better. I mean, I can give you a demo. I can pump up the bass frequencies or take them all the way out, pump up the mid and the high, which seems to help for getting through a log jam, as it were. but I usually run it flat for rag chewing the way it is right now. Over.
Yeah, I was watching on the oscilloscope there on my rig. I was watching you make those changes, and it's quite noticeable. Quite noticeable. So you're getting what you pay for, no doubt, and I can certainly hear it in the headset as well. So yeah, if I'm business 98%. If you hadn't told me, I would have thought you were running power. Didn't know you were running barefoot. Makes me wonder why I'm running an amplifier sometimes. And most of the stations are sounding really good barefoot, but I think if you're trying to reach out and hear, and it makes a live stream a little bit more enjoyable to watch when you're talking to people instead of calling CQ for half an hour, nobody answers. So sometimes running a little power does help, and it makes the YouTube live stream a little bit more exciting there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. I've got a amplifier sitting on the floor here. In fact, I just bought it recently off of another guy. It is a tube amplifier, AL811, and got new tubes for it. It had some parasitic components, 3 resistors that were burned out, and I'm just waiting for one more part for it and put it back together again and get the thing fired up. But I find that with the amplifier, I might be able to get out a bit better, but I find that if I can't hear people real well, then they're not going to hear me, that's for sure. With the amplifier, they may be able to hear me, but it still means I won't be able to hear them. Over.
Yeah, that's very true. Again, that's why I think the Hex is such a great antenna. In my experience, if I can hear you, I usually can work you, and that's a pretty nice deal. Nobody likes to be an alligator base, all mouths and no ears, So I'd like to think I'm fortunate there as well. But nice to see that the West Coast is in here as well. Didn't anticipate that, but I'm glad to see that you did. And we'll probably just swing back over to the East Coast a little bit before everything dies out, and see if we can make a few contacts. But I don't see one in our log today. So Jeff, thank you for that. I'll make sure you're in my log. And again, we're out here during the week, usually about 2 o'clock Central Time for a few hours or until the band dies. And if you hear us again, come on back, stop in, say hi. We'll just kind of pick it up where we left off. So I'll let you close it up your next go around. So November Zulu 2 Sierra Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo.
Okay, Randy, 73s, I'll let you spin your antenna back around. I'll get you in the log as soon as we're done here, and wish you 73s. Hopefully you're going to get your shot. I got my first one, and stay safe. So with that, K0 Romeo Whiskey Bravo, November Zulu 2 Sierra, wishing you 73s, and stay safe.
Okay, Jeff, thanks again. 73s, K0RWB, Randy, Kansas City, we're clear, QRZ.
November 4, Hotel Echo Sierra.
Big signal, November 4, Hotel Echo Sierra. Arthur, how are you today?
I'm doing really well. Yeah, you're about 20 over down here.
Well, that was my plan when I started today, so well, it's very nice of you to say. I just kind of spin it, and there it goes. We've been real lucky so far getting into Florida, so you guys are doing quite well yourself there, Roger.
Now, QSL, well, the last time I talked to you, I guess about a month ago, and was trying out a mic, and now I got a different one.
Well, I feel the same way, Lee. I feel the same way. I did that this morning, the PR781, so we both got something to talk about.
There you go. Yeah, I've got the 781 back on it. I tried the ICM, but I didn't like it as well as I like this one.
Really? Well, that's interesting. What was the issue with the ICM?
Nothing really. It just I wasn't getting as many compliments on it as I did the 781.
Well, that just tells me you weren't talking to the right people.
That's probably true too.
You know what? This morning when I was looking at it, I had the HM12 in front of me. I had the Heil Gold Line Elite in front of me, and the PR 781 in front of me. And they're like, well, here, try it. So I'd hook them all up to. I brought my rig and my headphones, and got to try each one. And I think this one offers it a little bit more lows. The Gold Line was close because it's got that switch on top for narrow or wide, which would be nice. The HM12 didn't seem to really produce any more highs than I kind of like to have. So this was the final candidate, and I'm not complaining there, Roger.
There you go. Well, it sounds good. Yeah, it is a little bit bassy, but I like it that way. And I don't know how this one sounds right now the way I have it set up, but hopefully it sounds okay.
Well, you don't want to get into it on the air, do you?
Sure.
Lee, I think it sounds good. The thing is, when you key, it's just you. There's no noise. There's no back chatter. There's nothing. It's just you. So that's part signal, which is 5.9 plus, and I think the rest of it's rig and mic. I like it. It sounds really well. Again, mics in different prices as well. The ICM's not a terribly expensive mic. It's a really good setup on the 7300. That's the other setup I have, and that's a terrific setup. And I think when we talked last, that's what I was running. And I really, really do like the microphone. But I think it wouldn't like this as well. It would take some, a new, not rewiring, but a different adapter and so on and so forth. And I said, well, let's not try to do that and duplicate things. So we went this route. But yeah, yours sounds really well. But again, and you know the business. Just go back on the YouTube and listen to the playback.
Yeah, we're going to do that. You recorded me the last time about a month ago, and so I'm going to listen to this one, and I'm going to compare the two.
Yeah, I think we were about 54 minutes in, if that gives you an idea, so you can kind of scroll through, instead of listening. Well, you can listen to them all if you want, but I think that's about when we started, which would be about 54 minutes, give or take. But, yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know how to describe it, Lee, other than you're right in front of me, if that makes any sense. I mean, there's no echo or nothing. It's just right there in front. So I think you've got a winner as well.
Okay, well, great. It's not too bassy or too much treble?
Well, it does have some bass to it, yes. But, again, I don't think that's so bad. But it's crystal clear. It is crystal clear. If you're sitting on 80 meters for the evening and talking to a group, it's perfect.
Okay, well, that's what I'm looking for. Like I say, I like both mics. This one I had this one already. I had a Kenwood before this and had this mic on it, and I bought the 7300, and I tried it, and I got good results, but I kept reading about how the ICM was better, and so I thought, well, I'll try it.
Yeah, I would have too. I hope it's not a situation where you're keeping it and weren't able to return it. Is that what the situation was, or do you still have it?
No, I still have it. I'll probably play around with it some more.
Okay. Well, I like I said, I think for what mine was, they matched each other really well, and I got some really nice reports on that. I mean, these two are just getting to know each other. They just got together today, so I think they may have a few things to work out. But I anticipate no problems. But I will say there is a difference on the receive between the two radios. That is definitely a true statement, Roger.
Oh, okay. Well, they just came out with a new update on the 7300. I haven't tried it yet, but it's probably not going to do anything in that end.
Was that a firmware update? Is that what that was?
Yeah, they went from the 1.3 to 1.4.
Okay, I need to take a look at that then. I'm glad you mentioned that. No, I wasn't aware of that. I think, of course, when I first turn it on, I think it shows 1.3. I didn't realize the 1.4 is out. I'll have to go to the website and take a look and probably download it and get the firmware updated. Be interesting to see what it's supposed to fix or correct or addition. The Japanese aren't really good about saying, oh, we made an error. So they tend to kind of massage things, Roger.
K0RWB.
Oh, yeah. A lot of times, they have an update and they highlight what they really changed. But a lot of them, if they made a mistake in the past, they kind of sneak it in and you don't even know it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. But, Hey, look, listen, thanks for stopping. We're going to see if we can grab a few more here while the band is out. As strong as you are, I can probably talk to you about any time I want to, as well as you sound today. But, hey, I'm glad you gave me an update on that, on the microphones, and that's a really good thing. You know, you don't have to wait a month. You know, I try to get out here every day, but you do what you can when you can. But, man, Lee, it's always a pleasure, and you sound good in the Lakeland area, so Florida is definitely holding its own today. Hey, listen, have a great what's left of the Friday and a good weekend, and look for us again. And, yeah, like I said, listen to the playback, leave a comment, tell me what you think, if it sounded good, not sounding good, or whatever, and we'll go from there, and we'll just look for you again down the log. I'll let you finish up on your end there. November 2, Hotel Echo Sierra, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo.
Okay, well, it's November 4. I think you said November 2, but I'm pretty sure you wrote down November 4.
It is. It's November 4. I just didn't say it right.
Okay, well, that's no problem. But, yeah, thank you, Randy. I do appreciate it. And we'll catch you again. You take care and have fun today. This N4HES. We're going to be clear and say 73s.
Okay, 73 sounds good. K0RWB, Randy in Kansas City, QRZ.
K0RWB, K1RJZ in New Hampshire.
Kilowatt 1, Romeo with Juliet Sierra, is that right?
Romeo, Juliet, Zulu, and it looks like they're both running 7300s. Name is Rick. We're in central New Hampshire.
Okay, Rick. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm waiting for the program to pop up there. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, up in New Hampshire, sure enough. Yeah, the 73 is on the bench. The FTDX10 is in service today. Roger.
Very good. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with mine. I did just stumble on it. The new firmware came out today, of all days, and I'm just going to stand by and hear other people what they have to say. But one of the big favorites seems to be that the multi-selector firmware was changed. So by simply rotating the multi-selector, you can rotate through, I think it's 8 memory channels or whatever you have stored. You just keep spinning the knob, and there's all your presets, which I like.
Oh, interesting. I am glad to hear that. So you've already done the update then, and you've got it uploaded to the radio. No issues?
No, I'm not that risky. I heard about it. I want to hear somebody else get their tail burned, and if I don't hear anything bad, then I'll do it. But I have the original firmware from when it first came out. I've had this radio for about 3 years.
Okay, fine business. Yeah, I don't blame you for that. I'd be kind of reluctant as well. That or another SD card to save all the settings and so forth. I don't know how many full resets I've done trying to get the rig to work on the live stream. I called ICOM, and he said it was a software program. I called the program folks, said it's probably your radio, and nobody could tell me exactly what. We have receive audio, but we have no transmit audio. So when you're doing a live stream, it's a one-way conversation, and it's just not very enjoyable. Roger.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I've got to head out the door in a half hour to get a shower and leave, but that's interesting. I want to hear more about that when I have some time. But, yeah, your 5.9++ here, it's really strong. So, good, I'll catch you later. There was a bunch of other good things that were in there, some fixes that they don't really talk about, but I thought that was one pretty significant thing. And it sounds like they might have put bandage markers, that possibility in there, which I would like a lot.
Yeah, fine business. Yeah, like I said, I want to take a look at that and get a little bit more insight to see what they have taken care of. Hey, listen, I know you got to run. Again, if you copied the last go-around, we are live on YouTube, so if you want to come and listen to our QSO on playback later on, you can certainly do so. Just go to the search bar, type in my call sign, look for the stream with today's date on it, and we would have been in about 1 hour mark, and then you can kind of listen to the playback, get an idea how your audio is going. Signal strength been 5.9+ as well, so you're doing a great job up here in New Hampshire.
Yeah, can I get your call again?
You bet. It's Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo.
Okay, K0RWB, K1RJZ. Essentially, K1RWB just went silent key about a month ago, so I'll remember your call certainly. So, very good, thanks. Got to scoot, and you are just plowing in here. Really dominant signal. K0RWB, K1RJZ.
Okay, fine business. Thanks for stopping by. Look forward to working again. If you hear us out there, come on back and say hi, and we'll pick it up where we left off. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. Kilowatt 1, Romeo, Juliet, Sierra, Zulu, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City will be clear, and QRZ.
Yeah, by the way, I'm using the Heil HMM IC microphone. I noticed a huge difference with it. I got the TR-781 used on my Flex, so we're both of the same mindset. Catch you later, K1RJZ.
Roger, 7-3s. We'll go ahead and clear K0RWB, QRZ.
Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Sierra Whiskey.
The Kilo Oscar 4 again, please.
Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Sierra Whiskey. Keith from Orlando, Florida.
Okay, fine business, Keith. Give me a second. We'll bring the beam around to you, and hopefully you'll come up in my receive, and I'll come up in yours as well there. Thanks for giving us a call. I see that looks like we worked on the 19th the other day. Nice to have you back. How are things going in your part of the world?
Yeah, pretty good. Lovely day. Beautiful, beautiful day. I just heard you on, and I've been playing around with my Mosley TA33. I got it a little bit higher, and we've just been playing around with it, so a good signal report would be welcome.
Oh, how about 5.9 plus 10? Sound good in my receive. It's definitely working. Of course, you probably don't need to point it in my direction to sound good either, though, Roger.
Yeah, that's probably true. I'm running about 50 watts at the moment, just playing with slightly lower power than normal through the FT991A. So I'm pleased that I got you. I won't hold you. I'm in the workshop doing some work. I'm just rebuilding a Jaguar XKE 1973 V12, and I'm just cleaning up all the lights. I've just resprayed it, and I'm just getting some work on it. And I've got the radio on, and I heard you, and I thought, hey, I'll give you a shout just to see how my signal's improved. So back to you.
Yeah, no problem, Keith. No, I have no problem hearing you at all. You know, I've had contact with several Florida stations today. All sound good. Eastern Seaboard is doing much better than yesterday. Everybody's got terrific signals. No problem pulling you out. If you sound like that on 60 watts, I'd hate to see barefoot or put in some power behind it. But no problems hearing today. Fine business on the XJE. What a terrific vehicle. I'm hoping that maybe at some point you get it done, or in process, put some pictures on your QRZ page. Like to see how the progress is, or send them back to us ourselves. But nice to work you again. Have a great Friday, wonderful weekend, and we'll hopefully catch you again real soon, Keith. And have fun down there in Florida. I'm sure it's really terrible and cold. We are a balmy 43 degrees today, so we broke out the T-shirts and shorts. 7-3 is my friend. We'll work again real soon. Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Sierra Whiskey, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Randy in Kansas City. We're clear, my friend. 7-3s.
Thanks, Randy. Yep, all taken in, and yeah, Florida's a bit cool today. When it drops below 80, I don't like it. But nevertheless, I take your points. Yeah, we'll work again. I'll let you go clear to work a few more today. 73s, look after yourself. K0RWB, this is K0RWB.
Okay, Keith, thanks again. We'll go ahead and clear with you. I did hear a Kilo 2 station. Kilo 2, your full call, please.
Kilo Delta 2, Quebec, India, Kilo.
Located currently Central Florida.
Okay, Kilo Delta 2, Quebec, India, Kilo. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, Roger. How you doing there, Randy? This is Kenny, Kilo Echo November Yankee, over here in Long Island, New York, and I got you a 5.9 with a beautiful signal and really nice audio, my friend.
Okay, Keith, thank you. I'm bouncing back and forth with the beam between Florida and you guys up in the upper New England states. Yeah, a great signal as well, and your audio is just really nice and punchy. Hope things are going well for you on a Friday afternoon, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. Everything's going pretty well over here, and we got a nice 45-degree day, so I can't complain about that. And a little bit of time to play radio, so I figured I'd jump in and see what was going on 20 meters today. How about you?
Yeah, it's the band's been kind of a little off today. Actually, the last couple of days hasn't been the greatest on 20 meters. It's a little better than yesterday, but it was a lot better last week. I guess we got to take the ups and get the downs and so forth. But yeah, we're able to make a few contacts. Like I said, we're doing a live stream on YouTube, so we're able to kind of record some QSOs, do some playbacks and so forth. Some folks are interested in doing some audio adjustments and so forth, but main thing is to make some contacts and have some fun there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. No, yeah, I'm having a little bit of fun. I just picked up a new radio. I got the FTDX10. Got that all yesterday, so I'm kind of excited. That's what got me back to playing a little bit of radio this week.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, same way here as of Wednesday, and we're still working on the EQ settings. I did pick up a 781 PR 781 this morning, and the mic and the radio are trying to get acquainted this afternoon. There, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. No, I hear you on that. I'm actually still playing around with a bunch of stuff, trying to figure everything out, but I think I got it figured out for the most part, you know.
Hey, Roger. Well, I was using the hand mic yesterday evening, and I was trying to get a few audio reports, and everybody was saying it sounds great, but then there wasn't very many lows, and I couldn't figure out how I couldn't get any lower than I could, and it could have been just the microphone. You know, the hand mics are good, better than years past, but you know, aren't quite the best as well. So when we got home today, we went in real quick on the radio and put the headset back on and did a few adjustments, and so far so good. We're going to keep plugging on down the road with it there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. Now you're coming in crystal clear, and your audio sounds excellent over here in New York. I don't know how I'm sounding over to you. I'm not running that much power right now. I got to kind of tweak my amp a little bit. I just turned it on. I heard you in this. I figured I'd jump on.
Yeah, 5 minutes. You know, one thing that really appealed to me, well, actually a couple of things. One is it has a terrific receiver. I think on the Sherwood test it was in the top 3. So we did a little bit of research on that, which was really a nice thing to have. And the other thing, you know, it's not something you have to have, it's nice to have, is the external monitor feature. That's kind of a nice deal. And so we decided to initially had a 32-inch monitor hooked onto it, but we've got some software change that we're able to hook into the rig and to the computer and put the screen. We actually have the actual screen on our YouTube channel, so people can actually see what their signal reports are at, see what the parasitics look like, their audio scope, and so forth. So it's kind of a neat deal there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. I actually I just got my monitor hooked up today, and I was kind of playing around with that. It's pretty neat being able to use the mouse. I was running the 7300 before this, and this is a little bit of an upgrade, and yeah, I'm really enjoying the radio.
Yeah, I think they've done quite well. You know, probably a year from now, we'd be kicking ourselves because the price has gone down. But you know, it is what it is. I had no complaints. My previous rig was a Yaesu FT950, so we're familiar with the family and so forth. And we do have the 7300 as well. So we got both of those. One is an alternate location, and one's here in the primary. And so you never can have enough radios, is what they say, or you got to have a backup anyway. No, I'm glad to hear that. I haven't heard too many 10s out there yet. I think I've heard about 3 or 4, and so you're probably the 4th or 5th that I've heard as well. And it's nice to hear them on the receive side there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. Yeah, this is my first go round with Yaesu. I picked up this and an 891 for my portable setup, and I'm an ICOM and Kenwood guy prior to this, so it's a little bit getting used to with the menus and the EQ and all that. But yeah, I think a little playing around and you get everything figured out. I mean, the filtering on this thing is so great. You're coming in like if you were you know, a block away.
Hey, Roger, are you using the stock mic as well?
Negative. I'm using I got a Behringer dynamic mic hooked up to a foot switch.
Okay, fine business. Yeah, I haven't heard any of the 10s yet with the stock mic. I think everybody's changed and gone to a second mic, so I'm really curious to see what it sounds like on a stock mic. But I'm sure that'll come in time. I think it's probably taking a little bit of time for the radio to get out in the market. I don't know if it'll take off like the 7300 did, but you can always hope, I guess. But I think they're making a fine product, so I have no complaints at all. Kenneth, I think we'll see if we can make a few more contacts there. The band kind of waved on you that last go-round, but then again, you pop back up again. But I do thank you for stopping in. And, again, if you're interested listening to the playback on the audio on your 10, so you can decide for yourself, we came on at about 1 hour and 9 minutes, give or take. So if you want to listen to the playback on my channel on YouTube, just type in my call and look for the stream for today's date, and about the 1 hour and 9 minute mark, and then you can listen to the playback on the QSO. Roger?
No, Roger. Yeah, I'll do that. Right now, I just switched over to the stock mic. I'll just give you a little audio report there. This is the stock mic. Over.
Yeah, I can tell a little bit of difference. It has a little bit more of a high sound to it. Not quite as much lows, but it's okay to listen to as well there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger that. All right, I'll let you go so you can make your contact. And I'll say 7-3s, and thanks for picking me up. We got Kilo 0 Romeo Whiskey Bravo with Kilo Delta 2 Quebec India Kilo. And thanks for picking me up.
You bet. Hey, thanks for stopping by, and feel free to come by anytime. We'll just pick it up where we left off. Have a great Friday and a good weekend coming up, and hope to work you again real soon. Kilowatt Delta 2, Quebec India Kilo, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. We'll be clear, my friend. 7-3s.
7-3.
KB1QXJ,
Kilo X-Ray 4, Romeo Papa.
The Kilo X-Ray 4 station?
Yeah, that's Kilo X-Ray 4, Romeo Papa, down here in Florida.
Okay, another Florida station. I'm going New York, Florida. So let me bring the beam around a little bit. You'll come up in my receive, hopefully, and then hopefully I'll come up in yours as well there. Get it pretty close. Thank you for coming back to the call here. Again, the name is Randy, and we're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. We're also doing a live stream on YouTube this afternoon there. Go ahead.
Very good. The name here is Jeff, Juliet, Echo, Foxtrot. We're about 15 miles south of Tampa in Sun City Center. And, yeah, you were about 5 minutes ago, I was listening to you when you had the beam pointed to the other Florida station, and you were about 5 over 9 at that time, and now you're about an S8, so really good signal. You're talking about audio and microphones. I'm using a new microphone, trying it out here, and I'd like to get a audio quality report. I just using the Electro Voice RE27 studio mic, so I was wondering how that sounds. Over.
Well, I'm no expert, of course. It sounds good. It does have a really nice amount of bass. I don't hear a lot of highs per se. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it is certainly clear, very clear. It does have some full range. Like I said, it may be a little bit low on the high range, but nothing that's that bad there. Roger?
Oh, very good. I turned up my highs and turned down the bass a little bit. Can you tell a difference now?
I can tell a big difference. It sounds really nice in my receive.
Oh, very good, very good. These are my DX settings. I guess maybe I'll just make them my normal settings.
Well, now I'm no expert, and of course the band's conditions can certainly change, but currently, yeah, both of them sound really nice. You can tell a little bit of difference here on the second one, of course, and I've got you pulled up here on QRZ. Pretty jealous with the shack picture as well. Yeah, fine business on the external monitor. Boy, I tell you, that's the greatest thing since sliced bread there, Roger.
Oh, I love it. I have had this 7610 for about 3 weeks now, and prior to that, I was running the 7300. Well, I still have it as a backup, but boy, I'm absolutely in love with the 7610 with the dual VFOs and the extended attenuator range and the display and all that. It's just a great radio, so I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, we have the 7300. We got that about 5 weeks ago. If it had the external monitor feature, that would be a home run in my book. It's pretty close now, but boy, that would really, really put it over the top. I do like that extra having that monitor feature. We're currently running the FTDX10, and we picked up a PR 781 this morning. So the radio and the microphone are getting acquainted. We'll see what kind of battles they have. Currently, they seem to be getting along pretty well. The antenna is a hex beam, 45 feet from the base plate, pointed your direction, of course. And the amplifier is an ACOM 1000, about 700 to 800 on peaks. Roger.
Very good. Let's see, what was I going to say? The FTDX10. Boy, that's a nice little radio. I'm really impressed with it. I was actually thinking about going for the Yaesu 101. But I got this thing. It was basically brand new for about $22.50, and so I couldn't pass it up. So, and I'm kind of used to ICOM here. I've got a 9700 as well. So I guess I'll just stick with ICOM. But those Yaesus are just great radios, and of course they're always high in the list on Ron Sherwood's report. So that's great. Yeah, I'm running linear, running the Meritron ALS 606, about 500 watts, into an attic antenna. I'm in an HOA here, and so I'm limited on antennas. So I've got about 3 antennas in the attic. I transmit on a 63-foot end fed, and then I receive on a 20-meter dipole, which is a lot quieter, so that works out pretty well. And then I put an X50 in for VHF and 70 centimeters, so that works out pretty good. But I got back into ham radio just a couple of years ago. After about 50 years out of it, I got my license when I was about 13 and ran for about 10 years, and a couple thousand watts and a 3-element beam and all that stuff, and a great sunspot cycle, so I got really spoiled. So things are a little different today. So, but at any rate, I'm doing surprisingly well with this attic antenna, so I can't complain too much. Over.
Yeah, you've been 5.9 to 5.9 plus the entire time. So I didn't know they work quite that well, but it is definitely working well for you today. And we gave the 7610 some serious consideration as we did the 101 is certainly a step up monetarily, but it really didn't want something that size. And we had an FT950, which is a very big radio, and we can foresee down the future a little bit more on portable ops, and the 7300 and this FTDX10 are a little bit smaller, lower profile, don't weigh quite as much, but still have the same punch. We decided to go that route, and so far we're very happy with both rigs. They both operate quite well. A little bit differences between the two, but nothing that would really shake the ground, so to speak. But and listen, I appreciate you just checking in. I think it says Sun City Center in Florida. I don't know what it is with Florida today, but everybody's just been booming in here. So we definitely have a good pipeline between Florida and Missouri. No doubt. We have a wonderful, balmy 43 degrees today, a little cloud cover. We're so excited. We thought once if we hit 45, we were going to do the shorts and T-shirt thing, but we haven't quite got there. So I'm sure you probably have just a few degrees warmer than me, but I wouldn't guess to be too much. But anyway, Jeff, we'll say 7.3s to you, and thanks for the update. Nice looking shack pics, and it looks really nice with the external monitor with the 2 VFOs. That's pretty cool stuff. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. Hope to work again here real soon. As I said, we're live on YouTube. You want to listen to your audio on the stream, on the playback, you can just go to YouTube, put in my call sign, K0RWB, and we came on about 1 hour 15. That'll give you an idea if you want to scroll through to listen to the QSO and you get a chance to listen to the 2 different audio settings you've got there set up. So I'll say 7.3s are now, and I'll let you finish it, but I'll do my part on my end. Kilowatt X-Ray 4, Romeo Papa, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Rainy, Kansas City.
Fine business on the YouTube. I will definitely look that up. It'd be interesting to hear my audio. You know, I can do the audio playback on the radio, but that doesn't account for the RF part of it. So it'll be great to hear that. Yeah, it was great talking with you, Randy, and sure we'll talk again. It's a nice 80 degrees here, sitting here in my flip-flops and shorts as usual. But at any rate, enjoying the weather, that's for sure. So 73s to you. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you later. K0RWB, Kilo X-Ray 4, Romeo Papa, clear.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks again, and feel free to stop by. We're out here during the week daily, or about 2 o'clock Central for several hours, or until the band tops down. Take a look at the YouTube. If you like what you see there, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, and that way you also the notification bell. You'll know when we're back out again, and we'll just pick it up where we left off, but enjoyed working with you before. So we'll go ahead and clear and say Kilowatt 0. Radio Whiskey Bravo will be clearing QRZ to see if we do have, real quick, any portable or mobile stations. If we do have any portable or mobile stations, come on back with your call sign.
Let's see. Juliet. DAG, Sarasota, Florida.
I copy Sarasota. Are you portable or mobile, sir?
I am mobile.
Okay, sir. Give me your call again, if you would, please.
Whiskey America 8, Portugal, America, Germany.
Well, that was a mouthful there. Whiskey Alpha 8, Papa Alpha Golf. Joel, is that a Roger?
That is a QSL.
Okay, sir. Well, you came up a little better and received there. Thanks for coming back to the call. Again, the name is Randy, and we're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Go ahead.
All right. Well, we are in Sarasota. We're running a Yaesu 991A with the ATAS vertical. And when we get home, we take the radio and put it on a 150-foot long wire, but bands are pretty dead. You're running an S7. Very nice, Randy. Go ahead.
Yeah, fine business on the F7. You're about the same here. A little bit of noise. At least this time I didn't have to go to New York and then come back to Florida. We've been moving the beam back and forth. It seemed like every other call, but that's okay. The rotor does the work. I'm just sitting here. But, yeah, we did copy the working conditions down in Sarasota. And nice to have a chance to work you today. Glad you had a chance to stop in. And we're very nice to work you on this Friday afternoon. Hopefully things are going well for you down there. Go ahead.
Very good. Thank you very much. We haven't heard much today. And there are two sites online where you can actually listen to any antenna you want in the world. And you can talk on those frequencies and hear yourself. Hear nothing. And the band conditions are bad right now. But you're punching through. 73, thanks, Randy. K0RWB, Whiskey America 8. Positively, absolutely gone after your final.
Okay, Joel, sounds good. Thanks for stopping by, and glad we got a chance to do a short QSO. Hope to work you again real soon. To copy the running on the feedback there with the audio as well. Have a great what's left of the Friday. A good weekend coming up, and hope to catch you again real soon. Whiskey Alpha 8, Papa Alpha Golf. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. Will be clear, 7-3s.
Whiskey Alpha 4, Delta, Radio, Mexico.
Whiskey Alpha 4 again, please.
Whiskey Alpha 4, Delta, Radio, Mexico.
Nice, clear sound. Eddie, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing real good, Randy. Thanks for coming back to me. I called you about an hour ago, I think. I've been monitoring you here for a while. And I looked up and noticed that the radio, the transmitter, was set on about 10 watts. So I reset it to 100 watts and tried to call you again, but the conditions just wouldn't let me do it. So I got the power amplifier out. Good to hear it's working.
Well, you know, I do apologize for that. You know, the conditions are what they are. That's why I got to catch myself once in a while and make sure that if we do put a call out for portables and mobiles, we don't want all the big boomers to have all the contacts. We're trying to give everybody. I'm doing the best we can out here, and I'm able to pick up some and not others. And, again, the band is not in the greatest shape. It's much better than yesterday. I hope it will continue to get better, but we're working with what we got today. But no problems hearing you that time. It's unfortunate you got to put a little fire in the wire, but we did get you in there, so I'm glad you came back, and thanks for your patience there, Roger.
Oh, no problem at all, Randy. Not your fault at all. I haven't had this rig hooked up in almost, 4.5 years. We retired, moved to Florida, and it's all been in boxes. So I've just gotten a 5-band vertical up and got everything sitting on a desk and plugged up. You're my first contact, since October of 2016. Over.
Wow. Well, I'm impressed, and I feel privileged. That's terrific. So I would guess then that the shack picture on your QRZ page is not up to date then.
It's not up to date. That was in Kentucky, and now I'm in Port Charlotte, Florida. So I've got to take all new photos.
Yeah, fine business. Are you still running? Is that a 7300 in the picture?
It's a 7600.
A 7600. Okay, fine business. Well, I'll tell you what. For what your setup is currently, that's one of the nicest audios I've heard today. So you've definitely got it dialed in.
Thank you very much. I've always been happy with this radio. Of course, I'm learning to adjust down here on a little postage stamp lot. I can't get much antennas up. In Kentucky, I had 52 acres and had a really nice antenna farm, but I'll learn to cope. Over.
Well, you do better than I would, that's for sure. Well, we went from 280 acres to an acre and a quarter. That was an adjustment. I can't see myself getting much smaller than that. It would be too much of a hindrance. I don't think I could hide the tower in the backyard with the hex beam on top. So I think at the moment we'll just have to stay put there. So I see here that, let me see, I looked at your page. Started as Whiskey November 0 Alpha Papa India while I was in the Air Force. Oh my God, you were at SAC headquarters. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I spent 3 years in Omaha, so I know what cold is.
Yeah, and don't walk on the grass. SAC people do not like that.
I was with the 55th Strategic Reconnaissance Wing, and I wouldn't trade the 4 years I was in the Air Force for anything. Met some really good people. Still friends with some of them after all these years.
Oh my gosh! You mean you still talk to them? Oh gosh! See what? I don't do that. Mine was only 33, and we ended up in Peterson in Colorado Springs, and then came back here in the Kansas City area and kind of worked remote up until let's see, 2007. So been out about 3.5 years now.
Okay. Well, my trainer on that system that I worked on in the Air Force at Offutt, after he graduated the University of Nebraska at Omaha, he followed me to Kentucky, and we went into business together. Then he moved on to Lexington, and I moved down here. I bought a place down here 6 years ago. Well, now 3 years ago, he bought a place down here, so he's followed me to Florida as well.
Oh, it's like a lost puppy. Well, good for you. If you would, give me a marker that I would know. I'm not real familiar about Port Charlotte.
We're about 45 miles north of Fort Myers and about that distance south of Sarasota.
Okay, got you now. We go down to Tampa about every other year to the big RV show. It's also a good excuse to get away from Midwest winter, and we usually stay at a place over in Clearwater, and but we do go down to Fort DeSoto into because down to the Kissimmee area. We go to Johns Pass, then down to Siesta Key and those areas. I like the Gulf side a little bit more than I do the Atlantic side, especially in January. You have a better chance of having a little bit warmer weather. The water's still a little bit on the cold side, but boy, you can't pass up those white beaches there, Roger.
The beaches at Sarasota are wonderful. Siesta Key is like the #1 beach year after year after year. But I've got, 6 or so beaches within 20-25-minute drive from here, and we try to take advantage of it. My wife is a full-time artist, so she goes out and takes a lot of photos for future paintings. And we also fly radio-controlled model airplanes. You probably see 1 or 2 of those on the QRZ website, so we do that. And we're both full-size pilots as well, so we stay busy. Over.
Well, it sounds like it. Again, you've traded some things for some others, and it seems that's what happens in life there. And good for you. That's terrific. I think they say home is where you hang your hat, especially if you're in the military. And by the way, I didn't say it, but thank you for your service. It's just I'm sure it's a big culture shock from Kentucky to Florida. At least it is for us, and we're just visiting for a couple of weeks, and you still kind of have to get used to, things seem to be a little bit faster paced in the Tampa area and so forth. It does seem to get a little bit slower when you get on the other side of Fort DeSoto down into your area in Siesta Key. We really enjoyed the area down there, I will say. The Sarasota area and so forth, with definitely Fort Myers, definitely a little bit nicer. I wouldn't say nicer, but a little bit slower pace than the Tampa area. We haven't gone Tampa north. I need to kind of look up around that area. Of course, we've been to Fort Walton Beach and been up in that area and so forth, up in Eglin, but not quite the same down in your neck of the woods, Roger.
Roger, WA4DRM. Well, we've visited almost all those places that you've mentioned, but during the winter, Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, it's one big giant metropolis. I try to stay away from metropolises, but during the summer here in Port Charlotte, we've absolutely got the place to ourselves. But it's busy this time of the year, over.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Well, interesting. To get down to Raymond James Stadium is really a pretty easy shot, I'll have to say. Of course, you're 4 and 5 lanes wide a lot of times, and when you first fly into to the airport and you go get your rental car and you do that big loop around and all of a sudden you're on the interstate. It's laid out fairly well, I have to say that much. It is a lot of fun. But if you're going east toward the fairgrounds, that's where I think the traffic changes a little bit. But heading south, to the east, but heading south and to the west, traffic didn't be quite as bad. But when you're vacation or whatever, you're not in that much of a hurry per se anyway. So maybe it's just the way we're looking at it there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. I don't know when they completed I-75 in this part of Florida, but I know they made a serious mistake in the 50s when they put these interstates right through the downtown of big cities. They should have kept them about 30 miles out, like they've done here in west coast of Florida down here, and it would have been much better.
Yeah, you kind of wonder what the planners were thinking, or maybe they weren't. Maybe that's what the key was. It's really hard to tell. But fine business. I'm glad to see that you've adapted well, apparently. And whatever you're using the antenna and the setup, man, I tell you what, and the band doesn't hurt any either. But it's been a 5.9 plus signal the entire time. It's been really fun to watch the meter when you're talking, and also I'm watching the audio scope, and you've got every little section covered, so the setup is working terrific.
Thank you, Randy. I really appreciate that. I've been happy with the radio and the amplifier. The vertical antenna that I've got up is just a Hustler 5-band vertical, and I put about 20 ground radios on top of the sand down here. By the way, they call topsoil down here. It's just sand. Don't let them fool you. But so I didn't know if the radios were going to work at all, but I've got a good SWR when I measure it with the antenna analyzer at the antenna, so I think it's going to work. At least let me get back on the air for a while, over.
Yeah, that sounds great. That's one thing I'm really happy about my hex beam is it's resonant on all bands, and if the radio has a tuner, which most of them do, I don't own an external one, and on my amplifier, I've got several different menus I can go through, and one of them is reflected power, and it's not showing any wattage whatsoever. So what I'm throwing is going out. That's a very nice feeling. It doesn't hurt probably running a little LMR 400 as well to make sure that it's getting out to the antenna. So you take 5.5 dB gain off the antenna plus your amperage, and that's a good reason why we're making contacts, Roger.
Oh, yeah. Well, I used Heliax to go out to the vertical from the shack, so I know if I don't show an SWR, it's all going out there.
Yeah, keep it away from the rig, no doubt.
Yeah, I put RF chokes at both ends of it, so I don't get any RF back into the coax. I think it's going to work. This is the only band I've tried it on so far, so I've got 4 others to check out.
Yeah, fine business. Well, like I said, I don't know if you were copying the mail last time around or what have you, but we are doing a live stream right now on YouTube, so our QSO is live and being recorded at the same time. So if you're interested on listening to the playback, listen to the QSO, your audio, and your reports, feel free to do so. That's what we kind of look for every day, trying to help out, kind of add something to amateur radio. It's not too often we have a chance to listen to our own audio. So we started doing this about a month ago and having fun with it. But again, you just go to YouTube and go in the search window, put my call sign in, look for the screen that's got the current date, which is the 26th today, and it's been about 1 hour 29 minutes is when you and I started, and you could certainly fast forward to there, Eddie, if you're interested, and kind of get an idea of what the audio reports would like. And, give us a comment if you liked it or something you'd like to see changed or something that we could do to improve this for everybody. We encourage comments there, Roger.
Oh, Roger, I was monitoring, so I didn't know that you were doing that, and I do go on YouTube and check out things, so I'm going to do that here shortly. YouTube's been a great tool this past year when we couldn't go out and do much else. I think my wife and I have gotten several degrees off of YouTube this past year.
Oh yeah, it really is. It's really kind of come into its own, over the last year with the pandemic and what have you. And again, it's something that I kind of stumbled onto a month and a half or so ago. Another station down there in Florida. He's over in Cutler Bay, Florida, south of Miami. His name is Alex, Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform. He also does a live stream every day. I think he's on right now, actually, around 14-310. And I checked in with him a few times, and he told me about the playback. And, yeah, it was interesting to be able to go back and listen. And I actually made a few changes on my audio at the time. And then the next day I would check in again and say hi, and we talk a few minutes and so forth. And he said, you should do that yourself. I'm Central U.S. and he's in Florida. I hear people he does it and so on and so forth. So we started kind of a little collaboration, I guess you would say, and having fun in the process. Roger?
Oh, I think it's a great idea and a good way to monitor your signal and quality and make decisions on your own without having to go through somebody else's ears. That's the advantage of that. I ran a recording studio for several years, so I'm all about audio quality. I want to hear it the way it's supposed to be heard. So, Randy, thanks for coming back to me. It was worth the wait, and I've got the amplifier up and running now. I wasn't even planning on trying to do that today, but it is running great and cooking right along at about 1,000 watts, so I'm tickled with that. I will go check out the YouTube. I know there's somebody else probably waiting to talk to you. So, Randy, K0RWB, WA4DRM will be clear.
The pleasure is on my side, and I do thank you. I do thank you for your patience, and I'm glad to. I'm hoping it was worth the wait. I certainly enjoyed it. I really have. It's nice to a chance to work you, and like I said, I love the audio, but you're the judge. You know your voice better than anybody else does. I don't sound anything like I do in my headphones, and that's why it was a big deal for me. Again, you go to the channel and you like what you see, feel free to subscribe, hit the notification bar, and that's kind of how we grow our channel, and we make it a big community and so forth, and we have people that check in on a regular basis and really encourage it and enjoy it, just kind of see how things are going and they're part of the world, and we hope you become one of them as well. 7-3s to you and the missus. Have a great what's left of the Friday, a wonderful weekend coming up, and don't be a stranger. Come back in again, and we would love to kind of pick up where we left off. We're generally doing this on 20 meters, but you'd get a notification when we go live, so we could go that route as well. Whiskey Alpha 4, Delta Romeo Mike, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Randy in Kansas City will be clear, my friend. 7-3s.
73s, Randy. Thank you.
You bet. 7-3s. K0RWB, we're clear. QRZ.
From Kilo 7 Yankee Romeo Charlie.
Oscar Victor.
The Kilo 7 Yankee again, please.
Yeah, Kilo 7 Yankee Romeo Charlie. K7YRC. Bob here. Over.
Hey, Bob. I got you in there. Looks like we worked back in the 4th of January. So how are things in your neighborhood today there? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not too bad today. Yeah, I remember chatting with you, and I remember I think at that time you had your streaming audio out there, and there's a couple of guys that are doing that. Were you doing that when we chatted?
I have to go back and look. I'm swinging the beam back around. You come up in my receive. Hopefully I'll be the same for you as well. You were hitting me off the backside. I'm trying to think here. Let me go back and look at the contact. January the 4th, I was not, and on January 4th would have been with the rig would have been the FT 950 at that time. The 7300 showed up about the 26th of January, and a couple of days after that is when we started to live stream. So Bob, today would be the first day we're live streaming for you there. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. It must have been somebody else then, because I remember going to their website and getting onto the live stream and hearing myself. Yeah, it's kind of neat to be able to do that. You never really know what you sound like, and kind of interesting phenomenon there. Running a Kenwood 890 here, and the amplifier is a Drake L4B. We're running about 750 watts or so. And the antenna is a 2-element high-gain Yagi, about a 50-year-old one. It's up about 50 feet. Over.
Yeah, fine business. Hey, I love the shack pictures. That's some really dramatic lighting. That is really, really nice. I see a combination of modern equipment and a combination of some older equipment. I'm hoping that that shack is insulated in case of the wintertime, Roger?
Oh, the one with the oil lamp is out in my shop, and that's well insulated. I've got a little wood stove out there. It's about a 14 by 30-foot shop out there, and yeah, very heavily insulated, sealing all the walls, and during the winter I'll light the wood stove occasionally, go out there and do a little rag chewing on the rig out there. Over.
Yeah, fine business. Well, I'm looking at the pics, and I can certainly be wrong. I do see an Ameritron, either 811 or 811H, and I can't make out the tuner. It must be an MFJ, and the rig looks like an older ICOM. How am I doing?
Well, the rig's is a Yaesu FT890, and the tuner's a Palstar. It's a manual tuner. Oh gosh, what is that? AT1500 Palstar tuner, and the amp's a little 811 a 3-tuber model.
So I got 1 out of 3. I guess I'm not doing too good after all.
There you go.
And then the other shack pick, the equipment got a little bit bigger screens. I think maybe there's a 7300 on the top shelf, and I'd have to guess maybe a 990 on the bottom shelf.
That's the bottom shelf is an 890, Kenwood 890, and then there's a 7300 up there, and below there is a 7200, ICOM 7200. And I haven't used the 7200 for quite a while. I was using it on PSK along with the 7300, but I had got some crazy conflict in the sound card, the COM ports for the sound card on the computer, and so I kind of gave up on the using the 7200. I'm going to have to mess around with the coax and get it back into the line over to the AL80B there so I can use it. But unfortunately, I didn't label a lot of my coax, and I'm going to have to just take the time to kind of half tear everything apart here and do some labeling on the coax. Over.
Yeah, I ran across that issue for a while. I was using just a regular band selector, manual, but I think it was 6 lines coming in plus the common. So I was running a shack in my basement at the time. So the garden window, I've kind of fabricated a plexiglass window and put all the 232 connections and so on and so forth, and I'd get confused on labeling. We're running 4 antennas now, but we do have a little Ameritron RCS4, a little electronic, so only one common that has to come into the shack, and then the cable for the rotator. You've got the same rotator box as I have. the CDEs, and yeah, they're a workhorse as well. But no, fine business. Yeah, what I like is the way you've got everything laid out on your shack pictures, and the dramatic lighting. I don't think this is happenstance. I have a feeling you planned that out, Roger.
You mean for the one with the oil lamp?
Well, all the pictures have some very dramatic lighting, and I have a feeling you thought that out before you took the snapshot.
Well, not really. Not really. I just took the cell phone and took a few pictures and picked out the best ones. The one in the ham shack, or the one out in the shop with the light is new. I was chatting with my buddies on 3855 every morning for the last 35 or so years, 40 years, and you'll notice if you're on my site, I've got an old saloon that I built. It's a replica of a 1890 saloon, and it has kerosene lights in it. And so I decided to take those lights out after several years and bring them in the shop and clean them up and put new wicks in them. And anyway, so one of the guys said, take a picture of that thing and put it on your QRZ site so we could see it. So just for the heck of it, I threw that one out there. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's you got some terrific pictures there. I like the layout of your QRZ page. You know, it's really impressive. There's some people just put something on there just to get listed, and some people really take their time and produce a wonderful page. And yours is no exception. I mean, I just love the way the pictures are laid out and the way you've got everything in there, whether it was a split-second pick or not. I don't think I could get anything close to that. I tried, and I got as close as what's on my page right now, and so I'm leaving it that way. So, but yeah, that looks quite nice. And some of the I guess I would say spring or summer pictures, and then the contrast with the winter and snow, it would certainly give an idea that yeah, we deal with that here as well. So, but no, Bob, I thought maybe we would have. Stream. You might have been thinking about Alex. He's down in Cutler Bay, Florida. His call, Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform. Alex been doing a live stream for quite a while. He's the one that kind of got me into it about the end of January, give or take. So we've been doing it about 3.5 to 4 weeks, and we're still trying to perfect it. We're working on it every day, trying to do things a little bit different to get people's interest and so forth. But we do have you there today. So, again, you could always go back and listen. I don't think it's necessary per se. I mean, I'd love to have you on the channel, but you sound great, and the signal's been really, really nice as well. And as much as the band has been bad, it has been open. I've gone from New York to Florida and your part of the world this afternoon, totally different than yesterday. So I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to take it as it comes. Roger?
Yeah, Roger that. K0RWB, K7YRC for the FCC there. Yeah, super. Yeah, that I think that was the guy. He was in Florida, and that name is familiar too. And he had me advance to a time frame that we started the QSO, and I listened. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, listen, I'll let you run and make a few more contacts. And your station sounds real well. The audio's nice, and boy, your signal just stayed right on the needle there. Didn't move a bit. So the antenna's doing a good job. I've started to build a hex beam. I bought the center part and commercially, and got as far as the spreaders out laying on the ground. And it just seemed pretty flimsy to me. Of course, I didn't secure anything with ropes or anything like that. Just the fact that the spreader seemed flimsy, so I kind of abandoned it. But I may rescue it here this coming summer. My first thought was I was going to just shorten it up and make a hex beam for 17 meters, and I may do that just to see how it works. But anyway, Randy, nice chat. Have fun. Be safe. And hopefully we'll work again. I'm sure we will with signal like you have. Can't miss it. K0RWB, K7YRC.
No, it sounds great. I appreciate the flowers, and yeah, I it's been very few people I've talked to who have not talked to Alex. So it is nice to be known, and he does a terrific job. So I'm really glad that he is doing quite well, and I'm enjoying it as well. I don't know where it'll go, but you know, if I call CQ and people are coming back to the call, that's kind of what it's all about. And doing the live stream is just fun as well. So we'll continue doing it. But yeah, thanks, man. Hey, nice chance to work you again, and hopefully we'll do it again real soon. Like I said, we try to be out here about 2 o'clock Central every day during the week. A little bit technical difficulties early in the week, but I think we've got it resolved, and we're gonna continue working this the best we can. I'll say 7-3 for now, and we'll have you. Hope you have a great what's left of the Friday, a good weekend, and come back and see us again real soon. Kilo 7 Yankee Romeo Charlie Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. Randy in Kansas City will be clear. 7-3s.
7-3s, Randy. Have a good day. K7YRC.
Okay, fine business. K0RWB, Randy, Kansas City, QRZ.
Alpha India 6 Oscar.
Alpha, I think it was Alpha India 6 Oscar. Is that a Roger?
That's Roger. I won't keep you long, Randy. My name is Ed, and I'm in Grain Valley. And so I just wanted to, just was tuning across the band and heard your call there. You were loud and strong, so I figured you got to be something close. And but yeah, I moved here last fall, back in late September from Southern California, and retired, sold the business out there, and sold the house, and bought here so we could be close to my daughter down in Lee Summit. I won't keep you again. The name is Ed in Grain Valley. Go ahead.
Well, okay, Ed. No, I appreciate that. I guess it doesn't make any difference what direction I point the beam if you're only 6 miles away. There's another station in your part of the in your area. His name is Sebastian. I think it's Kilo Bravo 0 Tango Tango Lima, and I've talked to him on occasions as well. And there's 2 other operators in the Grain Valley, so apparently that's the new hot spot for amateur radio. But yeah, fine business. I'm glad you did. You know, that's old ground wave, of course. I'm pointed up directly north, so at this point it's hitting the ground wave. But I'm glad you jumped in there, and I'm glad we get a chance to work. And welcome to Missouri, Roger.
Yeah, you bet. We're kind of struggling after that last 2 weeks, but we made it through, so it should be all downhill from there. Yeah, I'm running a Kenwood TS590. Just am in the process of putting up a 40-foot tower, and the antenna that I am on is a hex beam that is sitting on the barrel about 4 feet off the ground, and it's pointed northeast. So that's my story, and I'm sticking with it, and we'll hopefully improve it as time goes on. Finally getting our feet settled in down here and getting the house up to where we need it, and I'm on 4 acres, and so we'll begin to develop a little bit of an antenna farm here as we go along. So yeah, I jumped you up on the QRZ page, and so no different station there. Mine's a little bit disassociated. Might be a good word, but I'll just say I wanted to get your antenna system up, at least the basic part of it, as soon as the weather permitted, and so we're on our way. But with that, I heard other stations calling you, so I'll let you go, and we'll catch up with you, I'm sure, another time, and I'll look forward to doing that. K0RWB, say I 60.
Well, I'll tell you what. While you were talking, I moved the beam back to 90 degrees, and was just barely able to hear you, and then I brought it back to 270, and you came way back up. So that's good news. And without getting the particulars, I would take it you would be south of town.
Actually, no. I'm north of 70 and Grain Valley exit there. by about 4 miles, almost exactly 4 miles north.
Okay, so then you'd be north of the four-way stop.
That is correct. Yes, roger.
Okay, fine business. Like I said, not trying to get nosy, just get an idea. Well, you know, I'm in Bate City, and we're just a mile north of the interstate, so probably if the crow flies, we're probably no more than 5 or 6 miles away.
Okay, I wasn't sure of that. We almost bought a house in Bate City, but at the last minute we kind of thought we would look around a little bit more. And so a little bit familiar with it, although I've kind of forgotten it and focused on getting settled in here in Grain Valley. So finally getting my sense of direction here. It helps to have 70 running east and west. That gives me a bearing point. Okay, Randy, again, you got stations following you, and I'm sure we'll catch up with each other down the road. And I'm mostly on CW, but every once in a while I'll venture up here and talk to somebody. So I'm glad we ran into each other. Maybe we'll have an eyeball here when we get through this COVID situation. 73, take care. Good to hear you. And again, like I say, I hope you catch up with you down the line. K0RWB, AI 60.
Yeah, it sounds great, Ed. No problem. You know, the other guys at in Grain Valley, every once in a while in the evenings we catch up on each other on 40. That seems to work pretty good around here since we're all so close. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you hear us out there, I don't have the other call in front of me, but you'll know. And that they're in town. One of them's not too far from the high school, and I think the other one is just a little bit the next development south of that, down in that area. So there's some stations here in the area, and yeah, Fine Business to get a chance to get together at some point would be lots of fun as well. So if you hear us back out there again, give us a shout. I don't care how close you are, and we'll make it work somehow. Alpha India 6, Oscar, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. We'll be clear, 7-3.
73, Randy, you bet. I'll look for you on 40. Take care. AI 60, clear.
Roger, 7-3. K0RWB, we're clear. QRZ.
Kilo 4, November Yankee.
Kilowatt Echo 7, Bravo Tango.
The Kilowatt Oscar 7 again.
Kilo Echo 7, Bravo Tango.
Yeah, I got fat fingers today. I think I got it. Kilo Echo 7, Bravo Tango. Roger?
Yeah, roger. Just passing through here. Thought I'd give you a signal report. You've got a good loud signal in near Boise, Idaho. Over.
Well, Fine Business. You know, I thought the band was bad, but I'm getting East Coast, West Coast all of a sudden. So nice to hear you out there. No, I appreciate that. We're sitting about 270, talking to a local about 6 miles away, and we're getting ready to go back over to the East Coast, and you come booming right back in there again. Again, the name here is Randy. We're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. We like to say the right side. We're on the Missouri side. And we're also live streaming on YouTube right now, so we're doing a live QSO with you there, Roger.
Yeah, okay, Randy. My name's Dwayne, Delta Uniform Alpha November Echo. I'm in Meridian, Idaho. It's about 7 or 8 miles west of Boise. And yeah, I heard the other station there, the IO, I think it was, real well as also. He was down a little from you, but he had a good signal in here. Anyway, I'm just using a little vertical here, an old high gain, high tower. So, sounding good. I won't hold it. Heard you in there. Thought I'd jump in and see if you could copy me and give you a report. You're about a S9 here. Got a real nice signal. KE7BT.
You know what? I pulled up your page, and I see your aerial shot because you were in a QSO last night. I didn't get in, but you were in a QSO talking about your 160 vertical on that tower. You said 100 and some 30 some feet. The tower is 146. How am I doing so far?
You're doing pretty good. Yeah, it's, the actual driven element, I think, if I remember right, is about 129 feet. I ended up a little short. I was one section of row 25 short, so I stuck up a chunk of aluminum, 2-inch aluminum tubing to try and get up to 130. I got 129 feet of actual vertical element. The tower top from the tip top to the ground is 146. I've got an insulator at about 17 feet above the ground.
Yeah, like I said, you were in QSO with somebody else. I think it was on 40, actually. And, I learned a long time ago from my Elmer, when in doubt, listen. So I just sat back and listened, and that's totally fine. You don't have to be on the air all the time. And I thought, well, let me roll down to this other frequency. I think I might have been 77188 or something like that. And it's somebody I know, so I went back, and then I came back up, and you guys were gone at that time. But as soon as I saw your pick there on QRZ, I knew that's what I listened to last night. So that makes it a small world, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, that must have been yesterday, because I haven't been on the air. I haven't even had a radio turned on for, a year ago this last fall. And I got on yesterday, turning everything on and making sure things are going to work. I want to get in that contest this weekend, the 160-meter CW CQ Worldwide contest. So I thought, well, I haven't had it turned on for almost a couple of years. I better fire things up and see if everything's still working. Had everything working except for my low-band receive antenna. It wasn't working. I got it going, so I think I'm ready for the contest. But I doubt very seriously at least I don't plan on getting serious about it this time around. But it's always a fun contest to play around in. Over.
Yeah, is that going to run consecutively day and night? Because I wasn't sure. I don't know if 160 is good during the daytime.
Well, yeah, it's not, but yeah, it does run day and night. Starts at 2200 today, and then shuts down Sunday, let's see, Friday night and Saturday night, shuts down Sunday. But yeah, every once in a while I'll hear a signal during the daytime, but it's generally a nighttime band. But I have worked some East Coast, believe it or not, during the daytime. So it's just band conditions, but normally you don't hear much during the daytime unless they're pretty close to you. Over.
Yeah, that's interesting. We have antennas for the entire spectrum, so to speak. The worst or the weakest one is the 160. It's just an inverted L, 123 foot. Goes off the side of the tower, and we generally put it out the lead out to the east. And sloped it. So it is rather omnidirectional per se. We have to take that one down. We had to put that one up by taking our 80-meter dipole down, and we've only got 2 pulley systems on the tower. And lately there hasn't been a lot of activity on 160 in my area. A lot more on 80 and 75. So that's what we've kind of run, but. Would be interesting to at least get back and listen for a little bit. I'd like to see how well that works. I'm not a big contester per se, but some of them are kind of fun. I think it was either end of December or January, we did a little bit of the 10-meter contest, and we did have fun with that. So it'd be interesting to see how the 160 works as well.
Yeah, Roger. Well, that ought to do probably a pretty good job, I think, by the sounds of what you've got there. But I'm not a big contester either. I've always enjoyed that 160 CW and sideband contest, especially the sideband contest. I got hooked on that way back in '88. I was living in Boise at the time, and I had a 72-foot tower, crank-up tower up with a 5-element monoband 20-meter beam on top of that, and I had an 80-meter, 75-80-meter inverted V below that. And for 160, I loaded up as a T configuration, and that worked well, really well on 160. And I got on there one night, and here's this all kinds of everybody and their dog was on 160. I thought, what is going on? Well, I didn't realize it at the time, but it was that 160-meter CQ 160 Worldwide phone contest. So I started playing around on it. I'd be damned if I didn't get all but one state, believe it or not, your state, Missouri. I got every one state during that contest on that stupid inverted V for 75 and 80. And so that was kind of a kick in the butt. And so I got busy, and I got cards for all of them. 3 or 4 days later, I got Missouri. So I got all 50 states with that little antenna. Got all the cards sent in, and my number is 436. I got that on April 6, 1988. I'm looking at the certificate here. So that kind of hooked me. I thought, well, that's kind of fun. So the next year, I made it a point to get in that contest, and I've got in it every year pretty much for 7 or 8 years. Then I kind of started dragging my feet after that. I haven't been in it, I don't think. I'll get in it tonight and tomorrow, and I think that's the first time for about 3 seasons. But I got 8 places here, first place in Idaho, 8 different times, and 2 of them actually 88 and 87. I mean, excuse me, 1997 and 98. I took first place in the, excuse me, Zone 3, the entire zone. So anyway, after a few of those first places, I was kind of hooked, and that's really the only contest I've ever entered in. But it's always a lot of fun. Who knows what the conditions will be like this weekend? But I want to find out. K0RWB.
Yeah. Okay. Fine business. I think it could be interesting. And we'll probably go back and listen a little bit. Probably won't partake. Got a couple other things that we're going to do and what have you. So we'll probably just kind of stop in and see how it goes. But be interesting to see what the results are. Hey, we got I got a person that just sent me a live chat. I'm going to try to grab them real quick while the conditions are still good. Don't want to cut it off too short, but I feel like I know you, even though I listened to your QSO last night. Pretty interesting, small world. But thanks for coming back to the call. And again, like I said, if you're interested in listening to the playback, we're doing a live stream on YouTube. It's also being recorded as well. And if you're interested in listening to the audio, I think it sounds terrific. It really, really does. You go to YouTube and just type in my call, K0RWB, and look for the playback for today's date, and give it a go. It'll be about I'm right at about 2 hours in on the playback. But anyway, enjoy the rest of your Friday, and have a great weekend coming up, and hopefully we'll work you again real soon. I'll say 7-3s for now. Kilo Echo 7 Bravo Tango Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. I'll be clear 7-3s.
7-3, Randy. Thanks for the contact. Yeah, play around on 160. Maybe I'll run into you tonight or tomorrow. Good talking with you. Catch you later. K0RWB, KE7BT.
Roger, 7-3s. We'll go ahead and clear. And we're looking for Kilo 4 November Yankee X-ray. Mike, if you're out there, Kilo 4 November Yankee X-ray. K0RWB, back to you.
Hey, Randy, it's Kilo 4, November Yankee X-ray. Sounding great on that radio, over.
I appreciate that. Hey, thanks for your patience there. We're trying to get Mark in there as well, but Alpha 1 India Alpha, and I couldn't get back around in time. It's coming around. It's still a work in progress. We got the new microphone this morning. PR781, so the radio and the microphone are just getting to know each other. I haven't seen them fight yet. We'll see how long they'll get along, but so far so good, Ryder.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good on the scope there. You sound great. I know we talked about this. I guess about maybe a week or so ago, and you mentioned you had it in the crosshairs there, and I since then have worked on the audio a little bit on this radio, and hopefully I got it to, I think, where I'm going to keep it for a little while. And you sound great, though, and I see you're enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. I'll tell you, the filtering on it, you can see the difference between this radio and the 7300. There's not much, but this has got, I think, a little bit more capabilities there, over.
Yeah, I think when I saw the Sherwood report, and it was in the top 3, and it's basically the same receiver that's in the 101D, my understanding. And again, I tell you what, it may be trivia, but that external monitor feature is really, really huge. And it allows me now, I got it set up today, allows me now to put the screen on the radio onto the live stream on YouTube, and it's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching it right now. It's great. I looked down and I took a double take, and I saw you were streaming now, and I said, "Oh wow, look at that!" I said, "He's got the he did it. He got the DX10," and I said, "I got to say hi to him." Yeah, you sound phenomenal. It sounds real good. And by no means am I knocking the 7300, as you know, because I have my 7300 sitting right next to me, and I go back and forth. But I really enjoy this radio on phone. It really, really, really does a great job, especially on the receive when conditions can be rough.
Well, coming from the Yaesu family, the 950 has those 3 parasitic EQs as well, and what a monster it was trying to get that set up. Of course, a totally different microphone. I tried that mic yesterday on this rig, and it just would not. It didn't have any drive. and I did a live stream, and I listened to it, and it was just awful. You could barely hear me, so you turn the volume up to hear me, and then the receive station would come in and it'd blow up your speakers. So I said we had to make a change, and I tried 3 today. I tried the 781. I tried the Heil Gold Line Elite, which the narrow and wide switch on top, which I really liked, and then I tried the HM12. And, you know, they were all pretty close, but this one has just a little bit more low in there than what the other ones did. So I've opened it up as much as I can. So on my scope, it looks like it's full featured. That's what I call it. And so far, I think it's working.
Absolutely, Randy. No, it looks good on mine as well. I was going to say that's what I've been watching, and it sounds really good. I do have, and I will. What I'll do is I'll send you the email. A friend of mine contacted Tim over at Yaesu, and that AMC, and there's a couple of other things. It's trivial on the parametric EQ, and you sound like you're pretty savvy with it. But I'll send you what he sent me. It's a good friend of mine, and he got me in the right direction with my audio, because I didn't think about. Most people set the mids at in a certain range, and this was a little bit unorthodox. And I'll tell you, I look at the way my audio is going out, and exactly like you said there, it's nice and flat, and that's what my goal is. Over.
Yeah, I like the way yours is, no doubt. Well, just so you know, and you're familiar with it, currently mic gain's 30, mic EQ is on, processor is 40, AMC level is at 50. And then, of course, then the stuff that's in the back of the rig as well. You kind of know what I mean. So if I could get mine to sound like yours, I think I'd be somewhere.
Yeah, I'll send you the email. It's an attachment, and this guy, he runs the 101B, and he's like, Mike, just try this. And I'll tell you, I tried it. We made a couple of tweaks, and I'll make a note in the email.
Well, I hope the band isn't dropping out on us already. I wouldn't expect that. You were doing good, and I lost the tail end of it.
It seems to be okay, and I'll be more than happy to share this information with some stuff that I got.
Yeah, Michael, I hope the band's not changing too much, but I got the tail end of that. But yeah, send me the email, and thanks for sending me a live chat, so I knew you were out there. That's another way to get a hold of me as well there. But yeah, give me when you can. I'd love it. And hey, thanks for coming back there. And I'm glad we got a chance to work real quick. Hopefully the band isn't totally dropped out there. Kilo 4, November Yankee X-ray, K0RWB, back to you.
I'm going to back out of here. You were 20 over before, and then it's just picking me up. Thank you for picking me up, and I will get that information over to you this evening. Over.
Yeah, it sounds great, Michael. I look forward to it, and look for us again. We're going to try to be more regular now, since I think we got everything dialed in. So we'll be back out here Monday for sure, and we'll look for you. Take care, my friend. Enjoy your Friday. Have a great weekend as well. We'll catch you again next week, hopefully. Kilo 4, November Yankee X-ray, K0RWB will be clear in QRT.
And 1RUF.